Next on X-Men, the season is only days old for 4 tough crews, and the Mountain is winning the battle.
Damn it!
One crew is raking in the bucks.
We just like to think we're a little better than everybody else.
If the other teams are going to catch up, it will take everything
Get out of the way!
they've got. The coastal forest of Oregon, a remote frontier hardened by the fury of the Pacific Ocean. Here, a rare breed of men gamble with life and live
Should be able to run a saw with that, don't you think?
and accept the consequences. They wrangle 1,000-pound logs, dodge bone-crushing steel, and fight Mother Nature at every turn. All to carve out their piece of millions in logging fortune. The season's first loads are headed to the mill, but it was a hard-fought battle to get here.
Oh my gosh. You, I quit!
I give up.
As the men head back to the mountains, the race is on.
Everything's on the line every day.
They are the X-Men. It's a land removed from civilization. There are no highways into these mountains, only crude dirt roads carved out by the men who work here. As the day's first light creeps over the hills, the loggers are on the mountain.
What's gonna work? Yeah, here we go.
25 miles inland from the Oregon coast is a salty group of veterans known as the Peel Company. Their season is off to a rocky start.
It's been a day from hell.
Veteran timber cutter Dwayne Deathless knocked down 5 loads of trees. Only one problem: they can't get them out. Todd, the crew leader, hurt his back. Their 40-ton log-hauling winch got stuck in a ditch. And its operator, Leland, is in the middle of a major meltdown.
You people are morons! I tell you, I gotta get out of the ditch! Where'd you leave me? Right in the ditch! You don't listen! You, I quit! I ain't quit. I'm tired of working with a bunch of dumb...
Leland's had it. And so has Deck.
Jeez. I give up.
You want to tip the mother over? You can go without me in it!
This hulk of metal is the centerpiece of their logging operation. It's known as a yarder. Without it, work is impossible.
You sure that's what you want to do? I don't think it is. I think you're just mad, and I don't think this is really what you want to do. Right? Just forget what's happened. I understand. Now let's just go from here and get this thing up out here and get it done. I don't think you can get out here. We're just as concerned about it as you are. Just need to get this thing up out here and get it down and get making mud for Mike.
He's the only one that makes anything.
Yeah.
The crew got him into the bog. Now it's up to them to pull him out.
Everything out of the way! I need to go straight! I need to go a little further! He's pulling me into the logs! What part of over here doesn't anybody understand?
The yarder is finally on dry ground, where it can move under its own power to the next landing.
Over the hill and through the woods. Look out, skinny britches, here I come. That's a World War II tank undercarriage that yarder's built on. Kind of hard to believe we ever won a war with that undercarriage, huh? Paint dries faster. Good thing we ain't a drag race.
Next up, a landing a half a mile away, where thousands of dollars in timber are poised for the taking. 20 miles from the Peel Crew is one of the biggest companies around, J.M. Browning, owned and operated by Jay Browning. Jay's M.O., hire the most skilled and buy the best equipment.
There's a lot of pride here. The guys fight for the brand. There's some other highball crews around too, so we just like to think we're a little better than everybody else.
Jay's approach is less of a philosophy than a lesson hard learned.
You know, we used to use a lot of these big single blocks. Guys don't like to use these. These is what I used when I was a hook tender. And this is what I ran my hand through. And that's how I lost my hand. I fell down on the cable that went through the block, and my hand went through here, and it snapped it off. Or it actually pulled it off. But I took the block home and put it in my garden. Figured we don't need to use that one again.
Jay was lucky. Logging is one of the most hazardous industries in the United States. The fatality rate in logging is 22 times the national average. About 1 in every 1,000 workers dies each year.
When I got out of the hospital, they sent me workman comp checks. I even sent them back. I just never felt that I should cash these checks because that was my stupid move that created the whole problem. So kind of had a fight with them. They didn't want to take the checks back, but they finally did. Should be able to run a saw with that, don't you think?
Jay heads up the logging road to his latest job site. It's called Military Green. These are second-generation trees planted 60 years ago. Jay and his crew have just 2.5 weeks left to pull $250,000 worth of timber. If they succeed, it will be one of the most lucrative jobs in these mountains. Jay works ahead of his crew cutting trees. Each cut is precise and perfectly planned.
You really need to size them up, you know, and put the face in it, the back cut. This tree leans back, so I'll hit it with another tree. Just helps to utilize and protect as much of the tree as possible. It's the safest way to cut timber. If we're going to cut them, I want to see it get used all the way, as best as possible. I think we can get this one here.
After 35 years in the business, Jay sees the forest like a giant puzzle.
Go, honey.
The trees fall like dominoes.
But that's the way I like to do it. Let's go get some more.
Jay mows through the second growth trees in minutes. But for loggers before him, it could take half a day to conquer just one of the ancient behemoths that lived here. The trees are down. Now it's up to the rest of the crew to haul them up. It's a big day for the boss's son, Jesse. It's the first time he's been put in charge of the rigging crew on such a big job.
The boys know they're going to have to step up, because one of these days the old man's just going to fall apart. Many businesses have failed after family has taken over from the patriarch. Maybe the son hadn't paid his dues, and some of the crew starts to lose some respect.
There's a big fur there. We can actually get those back there.
there.
The crew has a hefty goal for the day, 20 truckloads of logs. It's early in the job, and already Jesse's feeling the heat.
Something doesn't go right, or somebody's not pulling their weight. I've been known to have my fits, you can tell. It's been thrown a few times.
Jay's crew knows Jesse has a lot to live up to.
Jesse gets a little more stressed out, a little more worked up than us. You know, there's a lot of weight riding on his shoulders. I think he just puts a little too much pressure on himself.
Jesse's proving himself to his dad and the crew and everyone. And that's tough. And in this industry, it just might be a little tougher than most.
Something's gonna break. Did you get that one? You got that top in you. I told you not to.
Like a game of pickup sticks, the crew must remove logs in a particular order to prevent runaways and avoid excess weight on the line. And Sparky added one too many logs.
Listen to me, for sakes. Okay. When I tell you to get something, you get it. If I don't tell you to get something, don't get it. Okay. Now go and bell that. Did it take you back to Reagan school?
There's a reason Jesse rides his crew hard. His father has set the bar high. They must pull more than twice the timber of any other crew. Coming up, pressure mounts.
Oh, you're not paying attention! Go on, choke deck, sucker!
2,500 feet up on Round Top Mountain is the Stump Branch crew. Owner Melvin Lardy calls the shots up here. This crew of young guns is willing to take the toughest jobs with the slimmest margins to make a living in this game.
Everything's on the line every day. If we went bust on this job, I'd probably end up with some clothes, maybe an old pickup, and that's probably about it.
Melvin's goal, 4 loads by day's end. But so far, the gods aren't working for him. And neither are his machines.
Hey, what we got going on here? That car won't start?
The battery turbos are hooked up. I don't know if it's not getting fuel or what.
Pump that primer. It might just be out. It might have just lost its prime. Pump that primer on the side there, on the fuel pump.
If not, you could just, there could be some oil in the cylinder. That's why you're not fine.
Melvin's strategy is to use a young, lean crew and cheap used equipment. But it doesn't always work.
There's enough breakdowns around here to keep me and somebody else employed all the time. I know, because I've been working a week and a half every week, so. Just go get that can of ether. Just give it a shot of ether. Let's just get going. Perfect. There we go. Up the logging again. Should be good to go now.
Melvin's biggest gamble is 20-year-old greenhorn Michael. Michael's only been on the job a few days. He's inexperienced, and it shows.
Hey, get out of the way! Get out of the way! Oh, you're not paying attention! Unbell it, throw it over the log, re-choke it again. Now one that's me up there, go on choke deck, sucker! Everyone starts out green in this business. You know, they got to kind of learn on the fly. You know, every day I see a little bit of improvement. You know, he's got a good attitude. He'll probably make it.
Michael's got a long way to go to get from greenhorn to seasoned logger. "15 miles west is the struggling Gustafson crew, led by Daryl Holtison.
Okay, Jeremiah, start pulling.
Difficulty raising the skyline led to a slow start.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, we ended up way better than we thought we were going to. It took a while.
Now the crew's problem is 67 acres of relentless plunging slope. It's aptly called the challenge site.
Go check your truck and make sure there's none in there.
As site boss, the ultimate responsibility for the crew's production falls firmly on Daryl's shoulders.
When somebody is slacking or just absolutely doing something wrong, I gotta go put pressure on them. So when they don't do something right, it's not so much their fault, it's mine.
Daryl was one of our hook tenders. He was by far the most logical choice to fill that position.
He'll treat everybody the same, but if you ain't pulling your own weight, he'll come down on you at the same time.
Daryl and his crew have only 3 months to pull more than $400,000 worth of timber out of this gut-wrenching terrain.
Hey, Dave, what's up there?
Going ahead on it, and then a flash went off in the car at spark, and a bunch of smoke came out.
Drop line backlash, rip air cleaner right off the car. No, we need a new car.
This is the drum. Like Timmy was explaining, when there isn't enough tension on it, it gets loops in it. One of those loops got down in here and got wrapped around the air cleaner on the engine and just ripped it right off of there.
The Gustafson carriage uses a drum to feed the drop line to the choker setters in the brush. Once a log is choked, the rigging guys are supposed to tell the carriage to reel the slack back into the drum. If they miss that step, the extra slack can become tangled inside the carriage's motor.
Okay.
Without a carriage, the entire operation is shut down. Daryl charges down the mountain to pick up a spare.
Hey, do you know if that other carriage is on the trailer over there?
No.
It's not?
No.
Where is it?
Rob, it's sitting on the thing just past the turnaround down there.
Okay, I'm gonna get the trailer and head down there, and then we'll get that carriage. They can do nothing until we get them that carriage, and so it's costing the company, $600-700 an hour right now because they still get paid during this downtime.
Coming up, the Browning crew's production grinds to a halt.
It won't spit out of there at all.
Idiot.
Deep within the mountains of northern Oregon, Jay Browning's crew forges ahead. Under the direction of the boss's son, Jesse Browning, the men are pulling out turn after turn of logs.
Yeah, these guys are doing a great job.
It's almost quitting time. The crew is just 4 loads shy of their impressive 20-load goal for the day.
A starfish. I'm tired. Just gotta power through it.
I know there's a turn below that rotten snag. It won't spin out of there at all. Sucker. Ideas? Yeah, that snag is following you.
Yeah, I got that part. Kick it loose, see what happens?
Yeah.
Kevin untangles the drop line from the stump.
Yeah.
The carriage gets free from the snag, but then it stops.
Stop. Hey, Carl, the car died. Think it's out of fuel?
Guaranteed.
A couple minutes ago, I seen something fall off the car there, and I think it was the fuel cap.
Didn't get put back on?
No, I think I forgot to put it on.
Fuel cap should be chained on there inside. It's not? Idiot.
Diesel has been slashing out of the open tank all morning, and the carriage now sits bone dry and inoperable.
Overtime ain't cheap. If we're getting a ton of overtime in and no extra logs are going out, then we're going backwards.
Careless mistakes cost the company valuable time and money. Mildly annoying under the best of circumstances. Downright painful when they're on your watch.
I ran out of fuel because I forgot to put the fuel cap back on this morning.
Being out of business for stupidity is not a good thing.
Though he didn't create the problem, it's up to Jesse to fix it.
Maybe you guys could throw us like a Ziploc bag over it and duct tape it or something to keep it from sloshing around inside there and making a diesel mess.
No, I don't need a sandwich, just a bag. Something that happens, Sparky having a bad day, and poor Sparky.
Jeez.
Some nice. This is gonna add up big time tomorrow.
Hell, it's going. That's all that counts.
The jury-rigged gas cap holds, and the Browning machine is once again up and running.
Right on the money.
And Jesse Browning passes the test, at least for today. Miles south is the Short-Handed Peel Company. Dwayne and the rest of the ragtag crew managed to get the yarder down the long track to the new landing. Now they have to secure it. Fortunately, they will have a little extra help. One of the crew members has just returned from a hunting trip.
Introduce me, Dad.
This is my son, Dustin Timber. The 4th generation in this gig.
The peel crew must wrangle 500-pound steel cables by hand as they struggle to secure the guy lines.
Just us having to hand muck these guy lines around, moving by hand. It's a pain in the dude. You know how heavy these things are? Well, it's easier with a loader. You can use haywire. There's a million ways to do it, man. More people. One way, it's a hell of a lot.
Right now, if you're really gonna try and kick you record.
If I fall on my butt on your knee, it'll blow it out.
The last line is secure, and Dwayne takes his son Dustin down the mountain to fall trees. This is a blowdown site where trees have been blown over or left damaged and leaning by gale force winds. It's the most dangerous of all logging terrains.
More than half of the trees are already on the ground, and half the ones standing were halfway to the ground. So when the wind starts blowing, you don't want to be working out in front of them, working something up. It's already on the ground.
Here, each tree is a potential death trap. Leaning trees have thousands of pounds of pressure at the base, just waiting to explode in the face of a logger.
Get these back here. No one go get those.
That'll make you a butt pucker.
Dwayne hopes his son will go to college, but Dustin has other ideas.
I'm afraid if I go to college, I'll just end up being drunk all the time and chasing women, like Doo-Doo did at that age. You know? That wouldn't get me nowhere.
He's got a free ride to college if he wants to take it. I guess he's going to the one he wants right now. Once you get the solid chips in your blood, it's hard to get rid of it.
For now, Dustin stays on the mountain for some real-world experience.
Dustin's currently enrolled in the School of Hard Knocks. But he loves it. When he starts thinking he's got it figured out, that's when you got to watch him. If you're not thinking about what you're doing all the time out here, you better get the hell out, because your number's coming up.
Dwayne wants to instill in Dustin a healthy respect for the beauty that can quickly turn beast.
When my son was real young, I lost a very close friend of mine that I started in the business with. At that time, I took my son with me, and we went away for a couple of days in the woods. And I explained to him some things about life and about loss. Let's get these two trees cut before I get all up in the head.
Dwayne's ability to read these trees has kept him alive for more than 30 years in this business. He's one of the fortunate ones. Up next,
my heel just slipped up.
Risk is on the rise.
Well, who's got tape?
2,500 feet up Buck Mountain, Gustafson Logging is at a standstill. Site boss Daryl Hultison is on a mad scramble.
Okay, we're good. I'm just leaving the landing right now, Mike. I'll be there in like 10 minutes.
A broken carriage has the crew shut down. Daryl rushes back with a replacement. But now there's another problem. Hooking the new carriage onto the skyline.
They better freaking hurry up.
The extreme angle of the slope and tremendous weight of the steel skyline makes the cable so taut that it's an impossible job to do by hand.
Yeah, usually it ain't like this, but our skyline's running down the hill so fast. Usually you can just grab it by hand and put it right in.
They try to force the cable down to the carriage with the claw of the loader.
And just gently push it down. He's just going to use his grapples. He's trying to pressure that line down with his grapples. See those sharp corners, metal to metal? That'll lighten that line, and it'll damage that line. You don't want to put a weak spot in that cable because that's going to be your breaking point. And if it breaks right here, I mean, that whole thing's going to shoot back down the mountain when it breaks right at everybody down the hill. Because it's under all that tension, because you've got your guy lines going this way, your skyline going this way. When you break that front line, it throws a big jump and could cause that yard to go straight over backward. That ain't going to work. We're going to change our plan here.
To avoid damage to the skyline, Daryl puts his cash crop to work.
There we go. Keep going a little bit more, Richie. A little bit more. A little bit more. Good. right there.
The log is able to push enough slack into the skyline to let it slip into the roller. The carriage is in place. Logging on the challenge site resumes. $400,000 worth of timber are still lying at the bottom of the mountain. Daryl's crew must make up for lost time. "15 miles east are the young guns of the Stump Ranch crew and owner Melvin Lardy. Melvin and his crew have completed the area they were logging, pulling out 11 loads.
Yeah, we just finished up, so now we're gonna rig another tree and then move the yarder and start backing up the log again.
Mountains are logged in sections like slices of a giant pie. Before Melvin's crew can move on, they must reset the skyline over the next section of felled trees. But this is no easy task. In order to achieve enough lift to run the carriage, Melvin needs to anchor the skyline high up in something called a tail tree.
It'll be a pretty good view from top of that spar.
If you don't want to climb it, I can climb it, man.
Oh, no, that's a short one.
All right.
But it's up to rigging man Eric to climb 4 stories worth of bark to secure the cable.
I gotta pack this up to my next tree over there and re-rig it.
All right, this is a short pole, buddy. You should be able to zip right up this. I just climb it on the inside there, high side.
What does it take to climb a tree? A rope and 2 spurs. It's the same way they've always done it.
Get a rig. I can see why you didn't want to get up there too high.
Yeah.
He's putting his spurs on right now.
Eric lashes on his safety rope, his only lifeline for the climb.
Go get him, buddy. It's only about a 40-foot drop or so.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't bad. Yeah. Just thinking I get a couple days off.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, it's all part of being a logger.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Climbing with Leafs.
Actually, it was. I think me and Dustin were down here, I think. Yeah, Levi was there.
Yeah, see? My heel just slipped out. Alright, going up there until that's fixed.
I think it completely broke, buddy.
You broke it?
The hook broke. But there's nothing to bite, you know what I mean? That's unsafe, dude. We don't want to send him up there like that. Melvin, you're nut.
To fix the broken buckle, the boys bust out their most trusted tool, tape.
I'm not gonna climb a tree for a while.
All right, Davis. Tell me how that feels. Spur up.
Yeah, it'll work.
Huh?
It'll work.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, let's safety you in. If I die,
Melvin's fault.
Next on X-Man.
We're gonna be shut down if you don't get up there.
Get back, get back.
At the summit of Oregon's Round Top Mountain is the Stump Ranch crew. Melvin Lardy's rigging man, Eric, is only 5 feet up a 40-foot tree, and things are already starting to feel dicey.
How you feeling?
The heel's slipping out.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm only 5 feet off the
Freeze
ground.
up, slipped out of there. You ain't got too high to go, but
I know, but
Is
my
that heel
heel's
rack
about
slipping
ready
out
to...
from underneath?
Yeah, my heel's like starting to... Like...
no, I see what you're saying. It's coming off the cork, but
Melvin needs Eric to set the skyline now so the crew can get back to logging.
We can't just sit here. I mean, we're gonna be shut down if you don't get up there.
just go slow, buddy.
Yeah.
Go slow. Easy. It looks like it's holding up just fine.
This feels so uncomfortable.
Well,
Just come out of there, Davis, if you don't feel comfortable up there. I don't want you to fall because I can see your spur is getting loose. But it's not slipping off, you know what I mean? You're not slipping. Oh. This is wobbly. You're safe. Well, I don't know. We'll let you know when to bail. Bail, I'll tell you when I'm falling.
Eric reaches the top, but the job isn't over. Now he must heave the 80-pound haywire and pulley up the tree and set a secure anchor.
Oh, Melvin owes me big time. All right, buddy, we're good to go. Come on down. Looks like we're drinking tonight.
You're telling me I'm ready to drink right now.
Skyline. I mean, we're getting drunk tonight, by God.
Once again, Melvin's young crew and cobbled together equipment pull through.
Well, I have to say that little ghetto fix job worked pretty good, huh?
All right, done. I got done.
Yeah, okay, well, so that's good. Let's call and let's get back to logging.
The crew can get back to pulling logs off the mountain. "7 miles southwest, the day slogs on for the Peel Company. Unlike Browning, who is always fully staffed, the Peel Company has Dwayne and Dustin doing it all.
Oh, usually there's 2 to 4 people out here doing just what I do. And right now it's me and my dad when he wants to, you know?
Scrambling through the fallen logs to set choker cables is the lowest position on the logging totem pole, and the most physically demanding.
There we go. They're buttoned up and ready to go. I want to finish this today, Duop.
Yeah, it'll be finished. Don't worry
You
about it.
need to run faster. I want to see a little more performance out of you.
Oh, do ya?
When it comes to cutting, Dwayne's the expert, but in the rigging, it's agility and strength that counts.
It's like a springboard, man.
You got mine.
Oh, hooray for you!
Dwayne and Dustin must send 2 loads worth of logs up the mountain before day's end. But the sky opens up, making a hard job nearly impossible.
He is killing me.
Watch yourself, Dad. You're gonna bite. Ah, I'm gonna lose it.
Watch your back. All right, get back, get back.
No, don't. Stand there, stand there, stand there. Ah! You don't want to sky them straight up, because then they're swinging around over your head and stuff. Oh, yeah! Gotta love that hemlock, huh, Dad?
They muscle through, just filling out the last load, and Dwayne's knee is paying for it.
That's all you want to get?
Get whatever you want. I'm getting out while I can still do it on my own power. That's the hole. It makes you pretty good. What you want to do is put ice on your body after you stood with that.
Peel struggles to make up for its crude meltdown. They've moved 12 loads and are closing in on their competitors. But their troubles aren't over.
If we don't have this out before the snow flies, basically be a bunch of rot. So the faster we get it out, the happier everybody will be with us. So it's important to get this out as soon as possible.
Round Top Mountain, Melvin Lardy has salvaged his old equipment with little more than gum and a paperclip. But so far, the strategy is paying off.
This is one of our biggest jobs we've ever done, and a lot of pride, too, wrapped up into it.
They've pulled 13 loads. It's not great, but it's enough to scrape by. For Melvin's greenhorn Michael, the reality of this demanding job is starting to sink in.
Ever since I was little, I've always heard, logging, it's the toughest job around. It is real hard work, but I'm not the type of guy that could be in a cubicle all day. I ended up killing myself or something.
Daryl and the Gustafson crew continue to battle failing machinery on the heart-stopping slope of the challenge site.
We lose money when our equipment's down, and it costs us a lot of money to be down. When something changes out here, we have to make it happen, no matter what it takes.
The crew manages to pull 11 loads, but for a crew of their size, it's much less than they had hoped for. Under Jesse's supervision, Jay Browning's crew is pulling huge numbers.
We really didn't have many setbacks. We didn't have many breakdowns compared to a lot of other companies.
Kids can get a little lax. Here you are in the seat of a successful company, but I've seen these companies just go to hell.
They finish with a whopping 64 loads. They can pull more in a day than their competitors can in a week. After only a few short days, there are clear winners and losers. But the season is still young. Millions of dollars of timber remain on the mountain, and harvesting this crop will not come easily. Next week on Axeman, the first big storm of the season slams the Pacific Northwest.
There's fire in the sky. You just wonder if there's anybody left alive.
Get your feet out of the bite of there. If that thing takes off, you're done for.
It's just not safe for anyone around here.
As the race to retrieve green gold continues.
You guys are crazy.